So we're playing Lewis and Clark. We already set up. Okay, we have our horses here in the corral, our canoes. This is wood, food, equipment, fire. We each start off with a hand of 6 cards, and they basically have the same powers, but they're just different people. Every card in the game represents a person who was actually on the expedition in 1803. So we have 4 cards that are resources, only resources. And then we have 2 cards that will give you a special ability. One is the, what do they call it, captain? Commander?
Commanders.
Interpreters. The commanders will allow you to move up the river and through the mountains to grandmother's house we go. Actually, we're going to 4 class up here. And then the other one is the interpreter, which will allow us to
take Indians from the village and add them to our expedition.
What she said. Now, the point of the game is to get from St. Louis here to Fort Clatsop, and we'll do this through these cards, which will give us resources and allow us to play Indians in the village here to move along the river and through the mountains. I am green and Jen is yellow. Maybe a little hard to see because these are funny looking colors. You know, they're pastels, I guess you know.
Yes, darling.
Pastels. Now, during the game, we must take one of 2 actions, which is either play a card or use our Indians. We start off with 1 Indian, and we start off with 1 equipment, 1 food, and 1 fur. Okay.
1 Klondike.
1 Klondike. No Klondikes.
Not for you.
None for me. Jennifer wanted Mr. Softy, but Mr. Softy wrote 5. Anyway.
Damn ice cream man.
Like I was saying, we must play one of these 2 main actions. We can either play a card, and in order to play a card, we must power the card with another card, and we simply just flip it over like this, or with an Indian that we have in our boat. Okay. Or both. And we'll get into that in a little bit. The other main action that we must choose between the 2 is to play one of our Indians in the village here. And if you see in the village, and also on our exploration boards here, there are 2 different types of circles. There's a full circle, which means only 1 Indian can be in that spot, or there are these semicircles, which means any number of Indians can be in this spot. Okay, and then we can do one or both of our optional actions, which is to either recruit from the Journal of Discovery or to camp. Okay, so like I said, we both start off with 6 cards of the same powers, or just named different people. We both start off with our exploration board, which initially we will start off with the 3 resources I mentioned, fire, food, and equipment. And we put it in the first canoe here, which will not cost us any time when we go to camp. The next canoe in our board here will cost us 1 time if we have resources in that canoe. The next canoe will cost us 1 time for each resource in the canoe. Okay, then the next canoe can only hold 1 Indian, and we will not be penalized on time when we go to camp with that. And then the next canoe will penalize us if we have any Indians in that canoe. Okay, and it'll penalize us 1 time per Indian in the canoe. Okay, now there's a limited supply of Indians. There's only 9, and out of that 9, there's only 7 that we can recruit because we both start off with 1. Okay, we have 1 here ready to go into town there. Let's get into the Journal of Discovery, and then we'll get into the game. What is the first card there, Jennifer, and what does it do?
It's half man, and can pay 1 resource to move your guy 1 space on the river, or as many space. Well, I'm sorry, 1 space on the river per scout that's ahead of you.
Okay.
So this is a 2-player game, so there's only going to be one
One
scout
scout,
ahead
yeah.
of you at all.
Now the when you recruit, which is the optional action, you would pay. Depending on where the card is, you would pay an amount of fur. Okay, so here will be 1 fur. Up here will be 5 fur, and then you would pay an equipment that is 1 multiplied by the power of the card. Okay, so here, the first one here has a power 2. We would pay 2 equipment for that card. Up here, he has a power 3, so we pay 3 equipment for that card. Now, we can also sell back one of our cards, and each card has a symbol here of how many equipment that card will give you, and we can subtract that from the total while we're buying it or recruiting them. Okay?
Yeah, because slavery is illegal.
Yes. Well, back then it wasn't.
Well, what I like about the game is the instruction book tells you a little tidbit about each person. So each card is an actual person that existed in history.
Yes.
So I like that.
What does the second one do?
That is Little Raven, and let's see. He was the Mandan's 2nd chief of Matutanha village. He met during a stay at Fort Mandan. But anyway, so you can choose one of the 4 primary resources. Take as many resources of this type as there are face-up characters in your playing area, Little Raven included. This effect, the effect of this action can only apply once. Activating this card with a strength greater than 1 is useless, but not forbidden.
Next one?
Let's see. The writing is a little, I think it says Daniel Boone.
Well, what's the card?
It's not 4/6, I'm looking it up. Yeah, so it is Daniel Boone. You can pay 2 resources of any kind and move your scout as many spaces forward on the river as there are Indians in the village. You know, on the game board, not your expedition boards. And then we have Come Calmly, which you can pay 1 equipment, 1 food, 1 fern, 1 wood, and move your scout 7 spaces forward on the river. That's a pretty nice card. And then the next card is Black Buffalo. Let's see. You can pay 1 food and move your scout as many spaces forward on the river as there are visible food badges on the cards of your playing area and your 2 neighbors' playing areas, or your only neighbor in a 2-player game. In a solo game, you can take into account the food badges of your playing area and those of the occupied village spaces.
Okay. Now, I will go first. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to build up some resources here, because that's what you do. Yeah. The game is basically a race to get the 4th class up.
So we can change its name.
Race to 4th class up? Is that what we're going to change the name?
No. Just when we get to the fort, I'm going to change the name of the fort.
Okay.
Fort Jen.
Fort Jen. Assuming you're going to win.
Well, if you get there first, you can name it after your lovely wife. And then it can be Fort Jen.
It could be Fort Jen.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could do it, you know. Fort Jen. Don't be eyeballing the cards.
What did that last card do?
This one here, Black Buffalo.
Yes.
You can trade food. Oh, God, you can look stuff up. Pay 1 food and move your scout as many spaces forward on the river as there are visible food badges on the cards of your playing area and your neighbors.
And the one before that, you pay 1 of each, and then you can move
7 spaces on the river.
7. That's
Yes.
a new card. I've never seen that card.
That was Come Calmly.
Yeah, I've never seen that card. Okay.
Come Calmly.
All right. First thing I want to do is, like I said, I want to build up resources. Now, I need food in order to use my commander here to move up the river there. Alright, so I need either food or wood. If I use food, I can only move 2 spaces up the river. If I use wood, I could get a canoe here, and then I can move 4 spaces up the river. But I would have to spend my Indian. And once you place them in the village, they are gone.
Okay.
If you power them on one of your cards, though, you would place them back on your exploration board at the end of the round when you can. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to get some wood. Okay, so now I'm going to play my my wood resource card here, which is Patrick Gas. Now, he has a power 1, but you cannot power a card by itself. You need another card or Indian to power him. So I think I'm going to use my fur resource here, which is a power 1, and I will flip that upside down and place the other card on top of it. So now I will get 1 wood 1 time. You will multiply the number of symbols face up on any player area by the power. So unfortunately, I only get 1 wood.
Unless you powered him with another person.
I could do that. I could power him with
Just
an
a
Indian.
suggestion. No, I'm saying you have a card in your hand that also has the wood symbol on it, does it not?
I don't think no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do.
Just
Oh,
a
the
suggestion.
interpreter. But I was.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I didn't realize it was the interpreter, but I'm just saying if you did, you would get more.
I might do that though. See, the problem is, once you power a card, he's done. Once you use a card to either power or activate a power, their card is done until you can't. And you know, Jen is an Indian hog. I will do that though. I will use these.
Well, I mean, right now to save him to get Indians is silly because there's only 1 on the board currently.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you can get 4 wood because you 2 twice.
So what I'm going to do, as you can see, there's 2 wood symbols here. One on Patrick Gas here, and then one on the interpreter, which I forget the name of. George Gibson. Okay, so that's 2 symbols, and I will multiply that by how many times the card is powered, which is represented by these filled-in Indian spots here, the red Indians. So I multiply 2 by 2, I get 4. I get 4 wood, and now I take 4 wood from the resource pool here, and I have to place it somewhere on my expedition board.
So I'm going to find spaces in your boats.
Yes,
On your
and
expedition board.
you want to watch where you place it, because again, like I said, when you go to camp, you'll get penalized by time depending on where the resource is and how many resources, or the Indians, for that matter. And then it will go over to my wife Jennifer.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you.
And she's probably going to play a wood card so she can leech off of my card.
Well, I wasn't really planning on it.
But now that I said that,
Yeah. I mean, I guess. You know, I do like to buy canoes.
you do.
I do. I was thinking back at some other stuff first, but let's see. So if I play it, I could get at least 3 wood.
Yes, at least 3 wood.
I need 6 wood, so.
Oh, you only have 1 Indian.
No, I'm saying to play, if I played my interpreter.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you only have 1 Indian, so you can only get 1 canoe anyway. Because you could only have 1 Indian pitch in there. Later on. Not right now.
Right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
See, I played the interpreter, so he's done. I can't use him until I can. And you'll probably rob all the Indians anyway.
I do like to do that.
Oh,
You say
I know.
that I do, but sometimes you do it too.
Just so I can get a chance at
You
it.
Shut your face. Alright, I'm gonna play Thomas P. Howard. And I'm gonna use Silas Goodrich's little Indian back. And I'm gonna collect 3 wood once. That's
Okay.
that, and then your 2.
Then we'll get 3 wood and place them in her canoe.
I will place them in my canoe.
So no.
Okay, I'm not gonna take any optional actions, so it is your turn.
Okay. I am gonna spend my lonely place him here. I'm going to spend 2 wood, and I will get a canoe. And then I will place my canoe there. It's that time.
Great.
Now, additionally, I could do an optional. I could recruit, or I could camp. Doesn't make sense to camp yet, and I'm not ready to recruit. What you gonna do, Jennifer?
I am going
Other than lose.
I am going to get some equipment.
Okay.
Now, I'm only going to get 2. I'm going to use my giant shields. I'm going to collect 2.
Collect 2.
2 equipment. And now it's Barry's turn.
What's the second card?
That is Little Raven,
Yes.
card number 2.
Yes.
And Little Raven, you choose one of the 4 primary resources. Take as many resources of this type as there are face-up characters in your playing area, Little Raven included. The effect of this action can only apply once. Activating this card with a strength greater than 1 is useless but not forbidden.
So if you play him, you get that resource depending on how
Yes,
large
if you purchase him and you put it down, you would pick your resources. And if I did it, I would put him down and I would have, like, if this was him, I would get 6 resources of whatever type I had selected.
6.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, I get it.
Correct. I'm glad you got it.
Alright.
But again, that is also limited by the number of open spaces you have on your expedition board.
Yes.
So even though you might be able to take 6, currently you would only be able to take 5.
Right. Okay. I'm going to play my equipment. Okay. So here we go. I play William Bratton, which will give me 1 equipment because he has 1 symbol. Jen has 1, so that'll give me 2. It's powered once, so we'll get 2 equipment. Jennifer.
What are you purchasing?
Well, the only thing I can purchase is
Yes,
that first card.
Half man.
And if I paid a resource, I would move up the river as many spaces as there are scouts. There's only ahead of me. There's only 2 of us, so that's kind of a useless card for 2 players.
So, are you purchasing it?
No, I am not. I am going to hold on. Your turn.
Okay, great.
I think I'm going to go like down the Mississippi towards Louisiana.
Because of all the resources.
Yes,
And
yes.
whatnot. Unless you bought another.
I don't have any Indians.
Oh, you don't have any more Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is per resource. This one.
No, that one is just what's
one
in the
for
canoe. This one is per resource.
So this is just 1 because there's
1,
stuff
yes.
in. Alright, thank you. Alright, fine. I will take one of these.
Good.
If I can reach it.
And now, Jen's got to decide which side she wants it to face.
Right, because I can do it this side and have 2 and it wouldn't cost me anything.
Right.
Or I can do this side and have more room. But if I have resources there, it will cost me if I camp. Or when I camp.
It'll cost you one time.
Right, so I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I spent my 3 wood. Which I'm going to move these guys over here.
Now you can reorganize your exploration board at any time you want to.
Correct.
Or in your turn.
Now I'm going to camp.
Okay.
I didn't move anywhere.
No. So now you lose 1 time from the card in your hand.
You know what? I don't have to camp just yet if I don't.
No, you don't.
I'm not really going to get anywhere, so... Alright, now I'm not going to camp this turn.
Okay. I'm going to play my commander. Okay, so... Now, with him, and the interpreter, you do not count the resource badges. You simply do the effect that the card will allow you. So I can spend 1 food and move 2 spaces up the river, and then multiply that by how it's powered. Or I could spend a canoe, move 4 spaces, or a horse and move 2 spaces up the mountains. Now I only have food and a canoe, so I gotta choose one of these 2. Since I'm going to lose some time when I camp, I am going to spend the canoe and move 4 spaces up the river. And now I am going to do my optional action, which is the camp. But before I do that, I'm going to rearrange my exploration board here. Now, when you go to camp, if you had powered any of your cards with Indians, you would place them on your exploration board, and then you would calculate your time. Okay? So, if I had any cards in my hand, I would subtract 1 time per card in my hand. And then since I have resources in this canoe, that's 1 time. And I have 1 resource in this canoe, so that's 1 time. If I had more, you would multiply that by the number of resources in the canoe. So I lose 2 time. I have to move my scout back 2 spaces, and then I move my camp token up to where he already ends his place. And now I can collect all my basic cards here. And it will go over to Jennifer.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my commander, and I'm going to spend 1 food and move 2 spaces. 1, 2, but Barry's there, so I'll go ahead of him. And then I'm going to camp, and I have nobody here, so I'm not penalized at all.
No.
So I'll just move my camp right to where I am.
Okay, so it goes back to me. I am going to play my interpreter, and I am going to power him with a card. Which card? I'm going to do it with my food card. Okay, so he's only powered once. So what that means is all the Indians, including the newcomer, will go into the powwow space here. And then
Barry can choose to take as many as he likes.
Oh yes, you can take as many or as little as you want. I'm going to take all of them. Then we take the bottom card off of the Journal of Exploration there. We slide them down and replenish that one.
And you also add a newcomer?
Yes, I'll get to that.
No.
What's the new card?
It is Joseph Barter.
And if you pay canoe, you can move 5 spaces up the river.
Yes.
Okay, and then finally you would add another Indian to the newcomer area here. Now, if you had powered your interpreter more than once, you can then do the same thing with a newcomer. Move them up, take them, discard a card, and put another newcomer in there, or another Indian in the newcomer spot. To do, you know, basically get 2 extra Indians, and you could arrange the board a little bit there. The journal a little bit. So that's all I'm going to do, and it is now Jen's turn.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, honey.
I took all the Indians.
You did.
You got none of the Indians. You got the newcomer.
Oh, thanks. You're so good to me.
I try.
You better be playing.
This is probably the last time I will get any Indians.
You're such a liar. I'm going to play George Shannon here, and I'm going to collect some fur. Now I have 2.
Right.
Barry has none, so I'm just going to collect 2.
2 from. Is that rain?
Yeah, it's rain, so I'm going to pause for a minute.
Are you going to take an optional action there, Jennifer?
Oh, I could.
Yeah, you could move a card.
I could.
Well,
Yes.
You can camp. I think you should camp.
I'm going to buy a card that is going to cost me 3 equipment and 3 fur.
3 equipment and 3 fur. So now she's going for Calm. So she would pay 3 fur, because that's what is on the track there, and then she would multiply the powder card by the equipment, which was 3.
And then I added a little guy named One Eye.
One Eye, and if you pay 2 resources, you can move, I think it's the same as the other.
Move your scout as many spaces forward in the mountains as there are scouts located on or farther ahead of you.
Yeah, this is the same as that other guy that we discarded earlier.
One Eye was the most notorious chief on the Upper Missouri. Yes.
Okay, so it's my turn. Alright, Daniel Boone, if you pay 2 different resources, you move up the river as many scouts as there are, or as many Indians as there are in the village, right?
Daniel Boone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I am going to need some fur.
Yeah.
Some fur. So I am going to play my fur guy. So,
oh sure, because I played mine, so then you're gonna get 3.
Yeah, so he has a fur symbol on it. Jen has 2 fur symbols on it. He's only powered 1, so I get 3 fur. I have to place my fur somewhere in my camp, in my board. It's the only spot I have. Let's go. It's Jen's turn. Wait, I might do it now. Might do that. I might buy a card. I might recruit a guy. I'm gonna get Daniel Boone here. So he will cost me 3 equipment
and 2 fur.
And 2 fur. And now Jen will slide them down and replenish the empty spot with another card, which will be
John Bowley. He has the infinity symbol on it. This character has no effect when you activate him. If John Bowley is face up in your playing area when you set up camp, you decrease your camp time by 1. This card has no effect if your camp time is 0. A camp time can never be negative. Okay. So, I really have a lot of choices here.
A lot of choices.
Yeah. So, I'm going to... I guess I'll get some equipment. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I can get some.
Minimum 3 wood.
Alright, so I will get wood.
Okay.
And I can get 4 wood twice. That would be 8 wood. Let's see. 3. 6. Yes.
I am going to send one of my Indians over here. I'm going to get 2 wood. No,
Right, yeah.
I don't want
Mm-hmm.
I am not. I'm going to send them here. Good to know. Change my mind. Okay. Spend 2 wood, I get a canoe. It's Jen's turn. I'm not going to do any optional abilities there. Jennifer, it's your turn.
Let's see. If I camp now, it'll cost me 4 days, correct? Because I have 3 cards in my hand.
And then that 1 canoe, yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna camp now, but since my camp can't go backwards, but I can. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I just got caught in the river.
Okay. So, well, I think I play a main edge.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
So you should have done that on your last turn. Yeah, you should have done that on your last turn.
Do you want me to take a main turn this turn?
Well, no, we'll just say you did it last turn.
Through the magic of camera work,
Yeah.
I camped on my last turn. So I'm gonna get some Indians. And yeah, I can get some Indians.
Okay.
So this guy and this guy, and I'll just take them over here and put them on the boat. And then I gotta take that card away.
Yes.
Slide these down.
Yes. And
Then
what is the new card?
it is Moses B. Reed, and for 2 wood, you can move 2 spaces on the river.
Now we place another Indian there. Now Jen powered her interpreter 3 times.
So we can move that guy to the powwow.
Yes. You're going to take him. I'm going to
take him.
Now we're going to get rid of this card.
And then we're going to add Hey.
Hey?
Hey. Which this card can only be activated once. And I don't know what it means.
You choose one of the 4 resources, or you may take one.
Take as many different primary resources as there are face-up characters in your playing area, including Hey. So up to 4 resources, each one different from the others. The effect of this action can only apply once. Activating this card with a strength greater than 1 is useless, but not forbidden.
Oh, okay. And then we, this new Indian and newcomer spot. Now Jen can do it one more time if she chooses to.
What the heck?
And we get rid of that card and just let it down. What do you got? What is the new one, Jar?
Pierre Dorian. For 3 fur, you can move 2 mountain spaces.
Okay, so now put our final Indian there. Jen cannot take any more.
No.
And my turn, right?
Correct.
Well, did you want to take an optional?
No.
Okay. So Jen kind of screwed up my plans a little bit there. Thanks a lot.
Did I get rid of the card you wanted?
Yes, you did.
My apologies.
I don't think you did.
No, I care.
No, you don't.
A little bit.
Not really.
You're gonna win.
No, I'm not.
You always win this game.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won once, but we weren't playing it right.
Yeah, that was the first game. I'm going to do some stuff.
Sounds like a wise decision.
I'm going to come here. And I am going to take 1 food and 1 card. I am not going to buy any. I am not going to recruit or camp. It would be my wife's turn.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. I have a lot of wood. So I'm going to take 3 of my Indians.
Yes.
And I'm going to take 6 of my wood.
You're going to take 3 canoes for 6 wood?
Yes.
Okay. Gee, I wonder what she's planning to do. Are you going to take an optional action there?
No. Okay.
I'm going to do this before Jen beats me too.
You're going to take Indians?
No.
I just put all those Indians out.
Okay, I am going to play Daniel Boone there, not Movie Dick. Daniel Boone there. Okay, so what I got to do is pay 2 different resources.
I don't think that's different, is it?
Yeah, it is. Or is it?
I don't know. Pay 2 resources of any kind. So no, they don't have to be different.
Oh, it's that.
It's that one that has to be different. That's yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to play Daniel Boone here, and I'm going to pay 2 resources. I'm going to pay some fur. I'm going to do wood or food. I'm going to do the fur now. So I pay 2 resources, and I can move as many spaces up the river as there are Indians in the village. Right now, there's 5 Indians in the village. I move 5 spaces.
See, I would have done food because you need to fertilize cards.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. But you need food to move.
Some cards.
Yeah, it depends on how you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you don't have canoes. Well, you have one.
So it is now Jennifer's turn.
You're not going to do any options.
No, I'm not going to do any options.
Okay.
But I want to do that before you suck off. Oh, you've already played it first. I want to do that before you suck off all of it. We know how you are. You're like a cyclone. Good time.
They're very helpful, the Indians. And I'm part Indian, so they love to hang out with me more than me. Oh yeah, I'm milking that 1/16 Cherokee.
Go ahead.
Shush. So mean to me.
Well, then do you take offense that they call them Indians and they are red?
No.
Okay. Your turn.
kind of big. I'm going to.
I don't know.
I'm going to get some equipment. Now, let's see. I have the symbol twice and you have it once, so I will take 3 equipment.
Okay. Are you going to camp?
Yeah.
Okay. No optional? Okay, so my turn. I am going to play my commander here. Now, I don't have any cards to power with, but I do have one Indian, so I just simply lay them next to it, and it is now powered once. And I gotta choose which one I'm going to power. I'm going to do the canoe. So I'm going to spend 1 canoe. I'll move 4 spaces up the river. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to reorganize my expedition board here. And I'm going to camp. So, I do not have any cards in my hand. I do not have any time loss due to resources.
But you do have an Indian.
I do have to take my Indian and place him back, but he will not cost me any time, so I do not lose any time. I would then take my cards back into my hand, and I would finally move the camp marker up to the appropriate spot, and it is Jen's turn. Are you sure you're going to rename it Fort Jen?
No, you are, because you're going to get there first. You're going to name it after your lovely wife.
You could pull.
Your lovely wife that died on the trail.
It happened.
And, accomplishment.
It happened.
I know.
Your turn, Jen.
It's not right. You shouldn't joke about something.
I'm sorry. Not really.
I know. Okay, so let's see. Your cards are in your hand and no longer assist me
Not at
in
all.
the purchase of my resources.
No.
So.
You could either buy wood.
Oh, can I? Thanks.
So you get 2, 3 wood. You don't have any more equipment cards.
I know. Guess I will move. That's my little Indian guy on here.
Power it twice.
I'm gonna power it twice.
She's going to do it with canoes, most likely.
So they're in my hand. I'm gonna take canoes and I'm gonna move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
And then
Do your optional.
I'm going to move over here. I'm going to camp.
Okay.
So I lose 2.
There's 1 for that canoe,
I'm
1
for the card in my
your
hand. So 1, 2. And bam.
Okay. And then she picks them up. Good game and have fun. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Play more games.
Ah.